Hey everyone, I'm Luke from Blister, and today we're talking about the 2021 Elan Ripstick 106. So the Ripstick series is Elan's free ride series, and we've actually reviewed past iterations and come away with pretty positive impressions. These skis have been pretty light, pretty forgiving, but for how light and soft they were pretty easy to ski and actually pretty stable for that low weight, which is a big part of why we recommended them to a lot of people. So for the 2021 season, Elan is deciding to update the Ripstick series, and the main update is the construction. So these skis maintain most of the original construction, still wood core, fiberglass laminate, Elan's carbon fiber tubes running through the whole length of the ski, but they added a layer of carbon fiber on the inside edge only to help with edge grip without compromising some of that easy kind of maneuverable feel that the old Ripsticks had. So in line with that kind of asymmetrical construction, these skis still feature Elan's Amphibio tech, which is basically an asymmetrical rocker profile. Essentially, the inside rocker lines are a bit shallower, the outside rocker lines are a bit deeper, and the idea here is that just like that added carbon sleeve on the inside, you get better edge hold and precision on your inside edges while keeping the ski a bit more maneuverable on that outside edge, kind of trying to get the best of both worlds. So on that note, the rocker profile of the ski is very, very similar to the previous version. We just looked at our pair back to back. The changes are extremely subtle. Still has pretty shallow rocker lines for a 106 millimeter wide ski, but there is tip and tail rockers, still camber underfoot, nothing crazy. Its tail is still pretty flat, but there is enough tail rocker to probably make it feel pretty maneuverable like the last iteration. In terms of shape, no real change there. Still a pretty moderately tapered ski, a bit more taper than you'd see in some kind of directional metal laminate chargers, but not as much as you'd see in very playful kind of freestyle oriented skis. In terms of weight, the carbon hasn't really changed the weight very much. Our pair of the 188 centimeter version is coming in around 1950 grams. So this is still a pretty lightweight ski, but like the last iteration, it comes in at a weight that we feel pretty comfortable recommending to some people for inbounds resort use, as well as in the backcountry, which is what made the last iteration such a good like 50-50 ski. So we're curious if we're gonna say the same thing about this iteration. One of the other only things we're seeing that's changed, at least on paper, is the flex pattern of the ski. It hasn't changed a whole lot. It's still got pretty forgiving shovel, pretty forgiving tail, but the flex pattern of this version stiffens up a little bit quicker as you move towards the middle of the ski versus the last iteration, which stayed softer a little bit longer. Final thing, mount point hasn't really changed on this ski. The mount point on ours is measuring right around -10 centimeters from true center. Still a pretty traditional mount point, but one thing that stood out to us with the last iteration was it still felt like a pretty playful ski for having such a traditional mount point. So we're curious to see if we'll feel the same way about this version. So that's it for the Elan Ripstick 106. You can head to blisterreview.com to see our full written first look, which includes all of our measured specs, our rocker profile pictures, our flex pattern numbers, and how the design of this ski compares to some of its competition. So head to blisterreview.com and then stay tuned for our full review.